Hello, everyone. Welcome to iHeartRadio's CEO Unplugged. I'm Joe Bartlett. Our guest today is attorney Andrew Smiley. He's the managing partner and senior trial attorney for the law firm Smiley and Smiley, located in Manhattan. So, Andrew, welcome. Want to tell us a little bit about your law firm, what you specialize in?
Sure. Thanks for having me here, Joe. My law firm's called Smiley and Smiley. We've been in Midtown Manhattan for 50 years. It was founded by my father and my mentor, Guy Smiley, in 1968. And we specialize in very serious personal injury litigation and wrongful death cases.
That's kind of a competitive business, I would think, especially in New York City. And you've been in business for a long time. How do you maintain that business?
It is. It's very difficult. And so what we do is we work hard to develop personal relationships. We get referrals from past clients, from lawyers, from judges. But we've also, over the last 10 years, have joined in with marketing efforts because you have to be in it to compete. So we've started all types of marketing, from television commercials that focus on giving information and educating the viewers. We have blog posts. We have weekly video tips that we send out through our email databases as well as through social media. And we try and keep up with the changing ways that people are consuming information. Most recently, we've been working on a podcast that I'm excited about that's actually launching in the week ahead.
We'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk to you about your TV commercials. You have
Sure.
a lot of TV commercials. You're, I assume, a very recognizable figure on the streets of the city.
You know, it's funny. I'll be walking down the street and I see someone looking at me with their head turned and they say, where do I know you from? I know you. And sometimes they'll come up, hey, Smiley, love you, man, Smiley. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. My wife isn't crazy about it. Every time we go someplace and someone comes up and starts to say, she goes, oh, here we go again. But it's fun. You know, it's New York, so everyone's cool. You meet people on the subways, and I'm a people person, so I really enjoy it.
I assume that there are a lot of people out there that think they may have a case or they're not quite sure. You know, they felt that they've been harmed in some way. And I know you have kind of a unique process to deal with that, and tell us a little bit about how you do that, how you get your clients.
We screen all of our cases through our referral sources and our marketing. We get calls every day, emails every day, submissions through our website, and we get back to everybody, me or one of my two partners, my father, Guy Smiley, or my partner, Jason Friedman. One of us gets back to everybody. And we spend the majority of our time telling people why they don't have cases. People want to know what their rights are. They want to know if they have a legitimate case. And probably 99% of the time, they don't for various reasons. So we help inform them, explain to them why. They're usually really appreciative. And then when they come back to us when they have another matter or tell a friend or family member, then we're there when it is a real case that we can pursue for them.
Actually, I would think that most people could probably have a case, you know, whether it's, like a trip and fall. You know, you hear the commercials. If you fall on a sidewalk, I mean, is that a case?
Not always,
Okay.
Not always. And so there's, it seems something simple. You hear of a slip and fall or trip and fall, or I got rear-ended in a car accident. Oh, I've got a case. The person hit me from behind. But what they don't realize is there's a law in New York that unless you've suffered a serious injury, even if you get rear-ended from another vehicle, your case can get thrown out of court. And a serious injury is not just bulging discs or whiplash that can cause a lot of pain. And I have to explain to people, listen, I know you got hit from behind while you're stopped at a light, but that's not a case. And it's hard for them to understand, but the laws are very complex in personal injury litigation. Most people don't get that.
I assume that's the impetus behind your podcast, right? Mentor Esquire.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that came about and what you're hoping to do with your podcast.
So it's called the Mentor ESQ. It's available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. We just finished wrapping our first season of 10 episodes. And the idea is to give education to young lawyers, to people who are interested in the law, who aren't practicing. And I'm a believer that to rise to success in any field, and especially in the legal field, you need to have a mentor. I grew up with my father, who is an amazing mentor. And most successful lawyers have had a mentor somewhere along the way that have helped them rise to a level of success. But a lot of people don't have that. And I've learned a lot over my 20-plus years of practice. I've been the president of the New York State Academy of Trial Lawyers, the president of the New York City Trial Lawyers Alliance. I've taught trial skills and coached trial teams at Brooklyn Law School. I teach other lawyers in continuing legal education on a regular basis. So I felt it was a good opportunity for me to give back and share what I've learned along the way. And then I bring guests onto the show, my colleagues that don't do personal injury law, but I've had on my friend who's a top civil rights lawyer. My friend, she is one of the top matrimonial lawyers in New York City. Another friend who's an activist in the LGBTQ community. So they can talk about their journey. And I think it's really interesting to share with other lawyers and people in general, hear these compelling behind-the-scenes stories of how lawyers get to be where they are.
Now, your dad was a lawyer. Was it automatic that you were going to be a lawyer?
It kind of was, and it was only because I wanted it. My father never pushed it on me, but he would come home from a day in the courtroom or at work and talk about the cases with me as a little kid. And I was always interested in it. And I always admired my father for what he did in helping families and the very intellectual work it is. You're always trying to figure stuff out and learn things. And it's just something I said, Dad, I always want to do it. And I tried out working in the law firm in high school and college, and I liked it. And I went to law school. And we get along really well. My dad's a really cool guy. He's actually my first guest. He's the original the OG, the original member of the mentor world, and he shares his stories. And I always knew I'm one of the few people that knew what I wanted to do as a profession, and I lived my life accordingly. I went to Tulane undergrad for college in New Orleans. Partied my butt off.
That's a great place to go to college.
It's a lot of fun.
My son went there.
Oh, there we go. All right. So I knew I'd be getting serious when it was time to go to law school. So I partied in college, did well enough there, graduated with honors miraculously. Then I came back to New York because I knew I wanted to practice in New York. I went to Brooklyn Law School, which is a really well-known school for its trial teams and trial programs. And off I went.
I got to think that law in New York is a pretty competitive business.
It's really competitive. I mean, especially with the internet and marketing now. It used to be back when my dad started the firm. There was, you can count on one hand the prominent plaintiffs' personal injury law firms in New York City. But now anyone with a website or a social media following can graduate law school and put up posts and say, I'm the best lawyer and take cases. Lawyers try and keep personal injury cases for themselves and think they can get a quick buck by settling a case until they realize how difficult it is. And then they end up coming and asking a firm like mine to help them, take it to the end zone. But it's very competitive. So it's hard to distinguish yourself in this field.
And tell us again, your hopes for the new podcast, Mentor ESQ.
Well, I'm hoping that, like what I say when I give continuing legal education seminars to other lawyers, if you take away anything from it that brings benefit to you in how you practice your career and your mindset for what type of lawyer you want to be, I'm hoping to touch certain lawyers. I'm hoping to open up the window that people don't see behind what makes lawyers who they are and what they bring with them to representing clients. And I hope to continue to get really interesting guests, lawyers from different areas of different ages, all the way from a 90-year-old who may still be practicing to a new law school recruit or someone in law school, to share that there's so much going on in the field of law, stories to tell. And I think it can constantly evolve with new people, new topics, new subject matter, and hopefully people will enjoy it and it'll continue to grow.
If you have a potential client out there, how would they get a hold of you?
So the easiest way is to go to our website. It's smileylaw.com. You could find everything there, from everything about me, my firm, our podcast, and you just Google Andrew Smiley Lawyer, and I think I'm probably all over the place.
You'll probably see him on TV as well. Yeah. Andrew Smiley, our guest here on iHeartRadio, CEO Unplugged. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Bye-bye, everybody. I'm Joe Bartlett.